Hi, welcome to this week's headlines. I'm Jason Lim, and here are the highlights. Lester Melanyi, who worked with the now defunct Sarawak Tribune, made a video confession this week. He claimed that one James Stewart Stephen, a web graphic expert, had tampered with documents related to 1MDB for whistleblower site Sarawak Report. The website later revealed that the picture of James in the video confession was in fact a UK Rail Services manager. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament Tony Pua was prevented from boarding a flight to Indonesia. Turns out he's not the only one banned from travel. Joining him are Rafizi Ramli, Tian Chua and many more. One wonders why. And lastly, the Gerakan Harapan Baru movement garners more support from 3 Selangor PAS elected representatives. Just so you know, PAS members are not allowed to join or set up other political organizations. And now for our main story of the week, the nation wishes Sarawak a happy Independence Day. Now, if only we could agree on what that actual date is. Here's what's been boiling over the past week. On July 22nd, more than 3,000 Sarawakians turned up at the Song Keng Hai Rugby Grounds to support the Sarawak Freedom and Independence Walk event organised by several NGOs and nationalists. The group feels that Sarawak's status has been downgraded. Most of us in the peninsula may view Sarawak as one of Malaysia's 14 states. And here's where we're wrong. It isn't just a state, it's one of the 4 territories that makes up the Malaysian Federation. That's why Sabah and Sarawak have their own set of rights accorded in the 20 and 18-point agreements. It gives them special say in matters of civil service, education, immigration, and so on. They want these rights recognized by declaring July 22nd as a state holiday and more broadly, an assessment of the points in the agreement. These Sarawak Freedom Walks first began in 2013 and it looks like they're not losing stamina. But why is it so significant for Sarawakians anyway? Sarawak became a British Crown colony in 1946 after being ceded by the Brooke family. It wasn't until 1963, however, that the state's independence became a reality. July 22nd saw the swearing in of the state's first chief minister and state flag. It attained governance, having its own constitution and cabinet. So for a moment, it seemed as though Sarawak was independent. But this self-governance was granted on condition that Sarawak would join Malaysia 2 months later. After that, the state's first Sarawakian governor was appointed and the Federation of Malaysia was formed along with Sabah and Singapore. So, when did Sarawak truly become independent? July 22nd or September 16th? Sarawak Malay Graduates Association President Dr. Sanip Said, a professor and historian at University Malaysia Sarawak, argues that September 16th is the true date of independence. He thinks that July 22nd merely marks the beginning of the independence process, as some powers were still with the British. The 3,000 Sarawakians who walked on Wednesday would disagree. They still hold that the 22nd of July is of greater significance, practically as well as symbolically. But perhaps it is this exact thought that becomes a cause of concern for some officials. Now let's be frank, this isn't the first time we've heard speculation that Sarawak would secede. Since September last year, social media groups like Sabah Sarawak Keluar Malaysia or SSKM have amplified such calls. According to a Malaysian Insider poll, 43 out of 100 East Malaysians felt that Sarawak and Sabah could only solve their problems by leaving the Federation. The poll also revealed that most Sarawakians want to leave Malaysia as compared to Sabahans. In the past, several issues have emerged. One notable example is the equal allocation of seats in Parliament. Together, Sabah, Sarawak and Singapore were meant to hold 35% of the seats. Here's the catch though. The number of seats were not reallocated after Singapore left the Federation. Sabah and Sarawak now only hold 25% of the seats in Parliament. Aside from seat allocation, there are also calls for tighter control over immigration and greater representation in the civil service. Now, what does the federal government have to say? In November last year, Prime Minister Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak's stance was clear, and I quote, Sabah-Sarawak secession issue is non-negotiable. Amendments to the Sedition Act earlier in April this year struck out calls for secession as an example of sedition. However, that has not prevented IGP Tan Sri Khalid Abu Bakar from directing the police to charge a Twitter user with sedition after calling for the state's secession following the July 22nd walk. This begs the question, where do we move on from now? On the day of the walk, Sarawak Chief Minister Tan Sri Adenan Satem stressed that Sarawak will not leave Malaysia, but will continue to fight for greater autonomy. In the bigger picture, the walk on Wednesday mirrors Adnan's views, but what's important now is for Malaysians to embrace and respect our diversity, without leaving anyone behind. So what do you think? If you're Sarawakian or Sabahan, let us know how you feel in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this week's headlines, and until next time, have a good weekend.